The West Indies. He landed down there below Florida. Okay? Now the next question is for you to find out and tell me on Friday. And if you look at the map or you read carefully, you'll find out who was the very first explorer that landed on what we call North America or New America. I call it New America because it's not the United States, but it was called America, the whole continent. So see if you can figure that one out. And there's several in-betweeners and all that. So take notes. Don't overlook certain things as you read, like the iffy jar, because I'm going to ask you sometime, what is that? And it tells you right there. But do your reading and take your notes. Okay? And then as we go along, every now and then I'll say, oh, by the way, next time we meet, this is due. And sometimes it would be on the syllabus. Sorry, I can't follow the syllabus 100%, but it might be on the syllabus in the correct spot. It might not be. Because it might take us longer or shorter time to get through, let's say, chapter 1. Okay? So, make sure you adapt, adjust, and adopt to the situations around you in all your classes. Okay. Now, the 3 people that were already here, they may leave now. And we'll wipe your desks down for you, or I will. Because as you leave each classroom, you're supposed to wipe your area down. And we've got napkins and wipes and all that kind of stuff. Okay, if you're wondering why my mask is down, as long as I'm back here behind this, I'm allowed to have it down. When I come out from the dungeon, I have to put it on. Have a great day, you guys. See you Friday. Not you, though. Okay. Uh-oh, he's moving. You'll have to wipe your... Huh? Okay. Hurry. She thought I was done because those 3 students left. Now, let's see. Will you passing out one of each of those? Okay, I have my own list of things to go through and the changes. Let's see, just 2 of you right now I haven't had in the classroom before. But I have a list of about 10 things I want to reconfirm. Since things have changed because of this virus, and by the way, I got the virus in June, early June last year, right after we got out of school. And I think one of you gave it to me. No. And I had it very mild. I know how I got it, because I was working in cleaning the house with 20 other people from our church, and we all wore masks. But I'm sure, there was times, and we were working around, all kinds of animal litter, and anyway, I'm pretty sure that's how I got it. I was just lucky at my age it wasn't worse. My daughter actually got it worse than I did later. I'm sure she caught it from me. And then my wife didn't catch it from either one of us. So anyway, hopefully this won't happen to any of you. Most young people, in my opinion, won't be as, if you do get it, it's not as tough on you because you're strong and young. Enough of that. Okay. So I think everybody here knows almost every day, we will have a quote. You need to write this quote down, and you need to keep it on a separate sheet of paper titled quotes. because every now and then I will ask for all your quotes, and I think through the semester you should be able to do it on 2 pieces of paper. You people online, you'll need to do the same thing and be able to send it to me when I ask for it. Also, once in a while I'll pick out a quote, let's say 3 weeks from now, and I'll say, okay, and I won't always have the number. I'll just say the quote, or I'll have it written out for you. I'll say, okay, take this quote and tell me what you think it means. That would be like an assignment. And I didn't do that last year. We have plenty to do. We have plenty to do this year, but every now and then I will do that. Every now and then I will say to the people here live that at the end of the period I want you to turn your quotes in to me. And they're easy points. They're free points. You people online will have to send them to me, and you will have a deadline, and they'll have to be before midnight of that day because it was due that, Okay? Hopefully that made sense to you guys online. That's the only problem with online. They can't interrupt and say, will you repeat that? I didn't get that. I had to leave and go to the bathroom, and I missed it. That's why it's videoed. You can play it back and forth. Who are you? Where are you? And what do you want? I got this in our Bible study group, our adult Bible study group. We call it our love group, our sharing our church, through our church, but people we know in the community. And this is from Bob Goff. Some people have heard of Bob Goff, and he's quite the character and a writer. But anyway, I picked this up from him, and I wanted to pass it on to you. Where are you? Right now, you could literally say, I'm right here in this classroom, or I'm online watching Mr. French, or listening. Where are you, and what do you want? But ask yourself those things. Who am I? Well, I'd like to say now and then I'm a child of God, a loved child of God. But I'm also Larry French. I'm also a father. I'm also a grandfather, an ex-coach, an ex-teacher, public school teacher, administrator. I like that. That's that type of thing. It's obvious. Where am I? And well, for me, I'm in a journey, still headed towards the Lord, and getting a little better at it all the time. And I'm pushing 80 years of age, and I'm still not there. I'm still not where I think I should have been. I started late. I was introduced to Christianity and love and the church very, very early age, and just went through the whole process. But it didn't hit home until about halfway through, 30 years ago, before I really started doing something. And what do I want? Well, I know the obvious things. You want to be happy. You want to, I don't know, maybe you want to be married and have kids. Maybe you want to have a Porsche. Physical things, But what do you want out of life? I already had a beautiful career, and I'm still doing what I like to do, and that's be able to tell you things and teach. It's just been part of me. It grew into me by almost accident. So that's the quote for today, and you don't have to write comments unless I ask for you to send me or hand me in a comment about this particular quote. And of course, you won't know until the last minute what quote I might pick for you to send to me or give to me in class. But do keep them separate and ready to go, because they're easy points. Let's say it's 3 weeks down the road and we've had 12 quotes. Okay, and I usually do this. I say, okay, turn your quotes in at the end of class today. There should be 12 of them. And people online, you have till end of the day to send them to me. There are 12 easy points if you've kept up. And what's so hard about just writing a quote down when you first get here? I usually have it up on the board before class starts. Anything about that? Okay, in class, I prefer you not, like past policies, have your cell phone out or your laptop out unless there is a reason, or I ask you to get them out and look something up. Online, nothing I can do about that. But I prefer you not have those out and about. Attendance will be a lot different this year. Now, if you're planning on being here every day, don't worry about it. But if you know ahead of time you're going to be gone, or you have a doctor's appointment, or you have a dentist appointment, or you have a child that gets sick, and you have email me, text me, or literally call me. Okay? I did remember to turn my phone off. So let me know. It also will save you some problems on pop quizzes, regular tests, midterms, finals. We'll get back to that in a minute. Okay. What can you make up in my class and what can you not? Okay. Major tests, midterms, and finals can't be made up unless you've set something up with me or Dr. Darrell or Mr. Nash, and they relay it to me because you couldn't. But communicate to me and do the best you can. Last year when we had to finish the year online, I did my final open book, open notes, because there was no way to take a final at that time without you having access to your phones, YouTube, whatever, to get your information. So almost everybody got A's if they did a pretty good answer, A's and B's. I don't think anybody on that particular thing. So it's very hard online, okay? Doing Zoom is, in my opinion, for me, is not the way I like to go. Even people on Zoom would leave, turn it on and come back. And there's all kinds of ways, to get around things. So that's why I like live and in living color. And hopefully you guys are online. Maybe someday you could get in here, and maybe this will be all done by the end of this semester, and we can go back to live. We'll see. Questions on that? Good. Okay. I want to start out with the paper that you guys got here, but not online yet. These are, they're actually posted by the college because I had to do this way early this summer. These are the course descriptions for both classes. Of course, this one's American Thought. It's on the top of this paper here. And there's just two specific objectives. Able to reflect how history repeats itself. Can you tell me if we got through this? You could probably do it right now. Specific recognition of our American country, its culture, its government development from the 1500s to the 1950s. Never seemed to get past, the Cold War, and the first part of communism and socialism, which is being bombarded, by the way, at you right now, politically, right now. Okay, how am I going to assess those two objectives for this class? By observing or analyzing the data, how can you do it, from past historians, relationships up to current life issues of today. So that's why being live in here, I can ask you about what you think about this, the killing of the Native Americans, just so we could have more land, so Plymouth Rock can expand. What do you think about that kind of stuff? People online are going to have to react to it, and if I ask it as an assignment, being able to talk to them online is not going to be easy. I mean, I can talk to them, I am right now, but they can't talk back to me and ask me a direct question. And that's what I miss. Okay, you're able to demonstrate some of those stages in small discussion groups, which will be hard at first, in written essays or knowledge, or I might post online, by the way, Populi, 2 questions after today. And people that are here online, bring it to me. You online, send it to me. I mean, that's how I have to do it. That's how all of us, and particularly me. And then the third one is successfully passing tests, quizzes, and assigned writing projects. So that's just a normal procedure that gives you something in writing if you have it. I have to retype all this online and put it on not syllabus, but on Populi. And those papers that you got here today are not there. Not yet. Okay. Excuse me. I want you to, the people that are here, turn to the paper. It says 7 Steps to Success in the Big 9. Okay, this is a repeat. All you people that had me in the past, online and here. But this is a physical copy for you, and I need to mention it to the people online. And we got some people here that haven't had me in the past. Okay, my Big 9 would be a very easy extra question to add on a quiz or something. Just list the Big 9. You don't have to explain them. Okay, I have them broken into 3 areas. The French 3, the Biblical 3, and the Species Survival 3. And they're the same as last year, but just beware. Adapt, adopt, and adjust. I say that to people all the time. Oh, you're doing the 3 A's. And they go, no, I'm not taking the alcohol class. But you're adapting to what's happening. You're adjusting. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And you may be even adopting a change in your attitude. I used this when I mentored young teachers when I was a veteran at our schools. Okay, the biblical one is very easy. Faith, belief, and actions. And the Lord says, you got to have faith and belief. I say you got to have faith and belief. In everything you do. But if you don't have any actions with it, you've hit the you hit the wall. You're not moving forward. You're not seeking this or that. So it's really important that that's considered. And then the survival of species is critical, and we haven't spent a whole lot of time on it, but it's spoken word, written word, and then your culture, your traditions that you pass. Those are vital to survive, for all of us to survive. We are a mixed group in America, and as we start studying America, you can see why, and then how all this other things occurred in American history itself. But without those, we quickly die. What are you going to, I don't know this, but what are you going to pass on to your children? What are your children going to pass on from you and grandpa? You hope for certain things, or grandma, or whatever. But, is it some of your tradition? Every Sunday we sit down as a family and have a meal. That is sacred. You must be. At all costs, try to be here. Or, I have some Native American friends in Pendleton, and they are always, and it's hard because there's only a certain amount of people on the reservations and in downtown Pendleton that speak their native language. But they're trying to preserve that and pass it on to their kids and keep that tradition and some of the Native American beliefs. And then of course they have their language and their written things to follow. It gives you proof. So one more thing about that is think about the first thing that was done. Everything was done by spoken word. When did man start to actually write things down? And again, I used this in the past. We've all played the game where I tell Nancy something and then she tells me, Anna, and we get all the way around to Liz and back to me, and it's not exactly the same. You played that. I don't even know what it's called. Telephone? And you can see how information can get twisted. I'm 100% sure all of you have done this. I do it. You tell a story, and you add things to it to make it more exciting or more scary or more gory or more whatever. You all do that. Oh my God, did you see what he did or she did? And it's like, what? But anyway, it's very important. Okay, on my list, I have research papers, character papers, informal or informational papers, or just short answer essay. Now, in order to fit the 7 steps to success, will generally be a character analysis or character paper, an information paper that is more than 2 pages, or a formal research paper. Right now it's looking like you're going to have only one formal research paper. There is a difference between a research paper and an informational paper or a character analysis. Everybody know what they are? I don't have to tell you? Should. All right, but these steps are on this paper, and for you people that don't have the paper, try to write fast. But these 7 steps will help you get through that process for me, my formal papers. You should always have a title page. The subject, the topic, or the person, if it's a character page. Your name and class. If you want to do a date, that's fine too. Every paper in this form should have an introduction. You don't have to say the word, but as you enter into the paper, you should have some way of introducing the topic or the person. So it draws attention to me, the reader. The body of the paper is very logical. Let's say you have 4 points you're trying to bring out about a research topic, or 4 points about a character analysis of a certain individual. That's the body and you develop each of those about that individual or about that topic. Those are obvious things, but we sometimes forget. And I look for those when I grade. And I do read every paper. Okay, within that body, you should have some specific facts for the paper or that support your points. That's another obvious one, but that's very important. You should have specific facts or supportive information. 5. And I get a lot of this, and I don't know how it's possible, but I'll give you some ways out of it. Grammar. The flow of I call it the flow of the paper. If you have a lot of misspellings, or you're using the wrong let's say, preposition, or the phrases, prepositional phrases, and entry into a sentence, if they're messed up, it makes the paper choppy. and I look for the flow and grammar. And when I grade these papers, I usually have 7 grades, kind of give you a summary of each one, and then an overall grade. Okay, and then definitely number 6, you should have some type of conclusion, a summary or a recap. It doesn't have to be long, but you shouldn't just end a paper without concluding or saying something. And throughout the whole paper, it is okay for my papers to express your opinion or your reaction to something. You quote somebody, okay, in your paper, you can react to it. Well, this is what so-and-so said about it, but I don't believe that, and this is why. Something like that. That's fine. And that leads to the last step, which is the Bibbo, your author quotes. They must be listed. And there's a way to do that within the paper. There's a couple different ways that are acceptable for me. And don't forget, you can always use your textbook as one of the quotes. It's really, it gives you another quote. So to have just 2, you got 3 now. Because you do take notes and you do have a textbook, so you can quote that. You don't have to quote it in the paper, but it's part of your paper. All right. Here's some hints. And it's on here too, but again, verbally, have someone read your paper. If you're real daring, tell them if they don't want to, you don't want to listen to it, have them read it aloud. If you're really daring, have them read it to you aloud and see, by the way they speak, if you broke up the sentences too much, you have sentence fragments, that choppy, change it. A lot of people don't do that. And I learned very easily that Nancy and I got together at the library or wherever, and we did each other's papers, and then we were able to help each other, and I was able to change some things, and so was she before we made the final copies. That's why you have rough drafts of your paper. Very simple process. A lot of you don't do that. Don't have the time, maybe, I don't know. But it sure make a chance for you to get an A on the paper, which I would think you all would want. So, any questions on the Big 9 and the 7 steps to writing success? Okay. Questions for you about the class. All you veterans kind of know how things are going to operate. Ladies, any specific questions that you can think of? All right. I already talked about the assignment for the people that left. Chapter 1, 1 through 14. Read, look at the maps, look at the little inserts. One of the questions I'm going to ask you live on here is, what is the Iffy jar? What was it used for? What was it made out of? I have one at home right now. My sweet puppy that passed away. I call it my Iffy jar instead of, what they... So anyway, take good notes. Don't be afraid at first to overnote. Take more notes than you think you might need. You can always scale back. Every now and then, I will ask you to turn in your notes. That's why online it's much more difficult, because they may have 5 pages of notes. I know one individual that's taken this class. She's a very good note taker and extensive note taker, so she may have 5 pages of notes to send me, while you guys some of you would only have 2. And if you get only one, That's way not enough. And the outline form you use is up to you, just as long as I can read it. You don't have to type it out. I usually get used to everybody's handwriting. And when I read your papers, I get an idea how you write, how you think. And I can instantly tell when everything you wrote was from a quote. It's very easy. Maybe a new teacher might not know exactly, but, try to make it your own work whenever possible. And if you have to quote, go ahead and quote. It's okay. Yeah. So, AAA, adapt, adjust, and adopt. All right, we're going to be done here in a few minutes. And then Friday we will start. And what's the first question I'm going to ask you? You forgot? What is the Effie jar? Okay. Okay. And you people online, send it to me. I want ding, 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 ding. 10 clicks on the phone. Anything for the good of the order? Well, God bless. Glad you're here live and in person. Have a beautiful day. I'm going to go get my first coffee. And, oh, by the way, I did forget something back there. I think it'll work. Once in a while, I'm going to play some videos. I got some new ones. And I got 2 or 3 that I want to repeat on purpose. And I'm going to ask the technicians if that will work. I'm pretty sure it will. So anyway, we will see you Friday, and hopefully you people that see this recording will be ready to go also. Thank you, everyone.